What if I told you that one of the most dramatic, high-stakes events wasn't just a movie, it was real life? You know how Squid Games had you hooked to your screen when Song Ji-hoon was trying to make a sports bet? That was wild. Can you believe that? What if I told you this actually happens in real life? The kind of event that feels like it belongs in a movie. Except it happens every single year in Louisville, Kentucky. And it's been doing that since 1875. It's the Super Bowl of horse racing, wrapped in luxury, tradition, and more money than you can imagine. It is the longest running sports event in the US, and it's not just about horses. Oh no, it's about high fashion, sky-high bets, and an economic engine that quietly puts away hundreds of billions each year. So today on Essentially Sports, we're pulling back the velvet curtain on the biggest horse race of the year, the Kentucky Derby, on this billion-dollar phenomenon. We're diving into how the Kentucky Derby became one of the biggest and most lucrative events the world has ever seen. Squid Game's intensity and the Great Gatsby glamour, with a little bit of Ocean's 11 smoothness, just imagine. The Kentucky Derby is much more than a race itself. The event's economic impact spreads wide, well past Louisville, Kentucky. In 2024, the Kentucky Derby pumped an estimated $34 million. The figure is comparable to the Super Bowl, which generated last year about $500 million for this same event. Considering the Super Bowl is one of the most watched events in the world, the Kentucky Derby's ability to pull in such a sum is so impressive. So how does the Kentucky Derby have such a massive economic impact? The race attracts 150,000 VIP attendees to Churchill Downs, filling hotels, restaurants, and bars with this spectacle of an attraction. The influx of visitors is also complemented by the spending power of these VIP guests. Whether they're flying in from the States or luxury international locations, tourism is a huge factor to the Kentucky Derby's financial impact. Of course, the hotels are all reaching 100% occupancy. Beyond tourism, the Derby is able to generate a massive amount of tax revenue. This helps boost Kentucky's economy in ways that people really don't realize. Studies suggest that the Kentucky Derby brings in over $47 million to the state itself in terms of local, state, and federal income, a sizable contribution to public services and infrastructure. Let's face it, if you've ever watched the movie Ocean's 11, you've seen quite a high-stakes betting action. You know the thrill of high-stakes gambling, the tension, the planning, the all-or-nothing attitude. The moment where fortunes flip in sec. That's the kind of energy that pulses through Churchill Downs on a race every year on Derby Day. At the very core of the world of Kentucky Derby is high-stakes betting. Horse racing and gambling go together like Brad Pitt and George Clooney. Iconic and irresistible. And the Derby? It's Vegas on grass. In 2024, a mind-blowing $320 million was wagered on the Kentucky Derby. That's not just pocket change, that's casino-level stake. Cash that rivals that of any Hollywood poker table. And it keeps on growing. Just a year before, the number sat at $288 million. Clearly, the house isn't the only one winning. What makes the betting scene so electric is the amount of variety. From your classic win, place, and show bets, think picking the top 3 horses, to the real deal Danny Ocean stuff like trifectas and super trifectas, where you need to pick the exact finishing order in order to win. This is where strategy, instinct, and luck come into play. The payouts can be wild. One smart pick and suddenly you're feeling like a millionaire. You just walked out of Bellagio with a duffel bag full of winnings. And the action doesn't just stop at the main event. The entire week is buzzing with bets. Over $446 million was wagered on the week just prior to the Derby in 2024 alone. That's a $34 million leap from the year before. People aren't just betting on horses, they're betting on moments. Even cooler, the Derby's betting scene has gone global. Countries like Japan have fully jumped into the action, pouring over $10 million into the betting pool in 2024. That's nearly 5% of the entire hand. It may not be Super Bowl level, which hit $1.39 billion, but when a race that lasts under 2 minutes draws that kind of global attention, you know you're watching something special. It's fast, it's flashy, and it's a thrill from start to finish, just like the movies. Only this time, the stakes are real. And instead of Clooney pulling off the scheme, it's you versus the odds, eyes glued to the finish. Imagine stepping into a moment where elegance is the dress code and you've just walked into a Hollywood set. It's not just a race, it's a spectacle. It's not just an event, it's a total lifestyle experience. If you've ever watched Secretariat and felt the rush of the local iconic scene where the horse charges down the race and the crowd roars in opulent attire, then you know what I mean. The Derby is where old school tradition meets modern luxury, and every person plays a part in the cinematic experience. From the first sip of champagne to exclusive suites in the buzz of celebrities and billionaires lining the paddock, the Kentucky Derby offers a VIP experience unlike anything else. The stakes aren't just high on the track, they're sky high in the stands, with ticket prices starting at $130 for general admission, but quickly soaring into the stratosphere with the ultimate luxury experience. Reserve seating can reach up to $2,600, and you can spend up to $300,000 to access private suites, gourmet dining, open bars, and breathtaking views of the Derby from a private balcony. But it's not just about that, it's about the entire vibe. Fashion at the Derby is just as crucial as the horse's treatment itself. We're talking custom designed hats worth hundreds of dollars, extravagant dresses, and accessories that set the standard for high-end fashion. Much like the world-class athletes participating in the event, the attendees are also showcasing their own performance. Forget the race for a moment, because before the race even starts, there's something brewing in the background. There's another fierce competition happening behind the race, the fashion face-off. At the Kentucky Derby, your outfit isn't just an accessory, it's your entire entrance ticket to a century of opulence, style, and grace. But add a 2020s twist, and suddenly, it feels like an Ocean's 8 sleek, strategic, high-stakes glamour affair. Each year, over $10 million is spent on Kentucky Derby fashion, turning Louisville into a high-stakes fashion hub. Local boutiques, national brands, and couture designers all rally for the moment, curating collections designed to turn heads and dominate social feeds. From oversized fascinators that could block the sun to seersuckers that scream Southern delight, the Derby outfits are planned months in advance. With the same precision, you need to select the winning trifecta. And for some fashionistas, the hat alone is worth the same price as the ticket. But this isn't about individual style. It's a marketing luxury goldmine. Fashion houses partner with the Derby for exclusive release. Pre-race parties become exclusive red carpet event. And celebrities turn up like they're decked out for the Met Gala, only to mint juleps in the hand. The Derby becomes a fashion ecosystem with elegance, tradition, and modern branding all in the mix. So while the horses might just race for 2 minutes, the fashion displayed lasts forever. They're timeless, cinematic, and unforgettable. The Kentucky Derby isn't a local event, it's a global attraction. While the race draws a massive attraction from the US, it also brings in tourists from around the world. Every year, Louisville sees a massive influx of foreign tourists that come to the US specifically for the Derby. In fact, the significance of the event, it has become one of the top destinations for foreign travelers to come to the US. Hotels in Louisville are booked in advance, with some hotels reporting 94% occupancy just before the race. During Derby weekend, the average nightly rate of a room is upwards of $500, reflecting that crazy high demand. It's not just hotels that benefit from the Derby's international scene. Local restaurants, retail stores, and transportation all benefit. All see significant spikes in business. The Derby has transformed Louisville into a cultural hub of the world, making it an international destination that puts the city on the map. From the massive economic impact that the Kentucky Derby has on Louisville and Kentucky, at the end of the day, the Kentucky Derby isn't just a 2-minute sprint. It's spectacle, a culture, a tradition wrapped in silk, champagne, and six-figure experiences. From a billion-dollar betting pool and designer hats to international eyes, watching from Tokyo to London, the Derby is where adrenaline meets excellence. It's the kind of place where fashion statements are as bold as the finish line, and the crowd's cheers echo as loud on the suites as they do on the track. It's no wonder that Hollywood keeps coming back, because the Derby doesn't just belong on the screen. It feels like a movie. Whether you're channeling the chaos of Squid Game's high-stake tension or Gatsby's old money glamour, the Derby proves one thing: this isn't just a race, it's the main event. So next time you're watching a movie just to see the Derby scene, remember, it's not all just fiction. Sometimes real life is more cinematic than the film, than anything a script could write. And now it's your turn. Have you ever seen the Derby action in films that gave you chills? Drop it in the comments below. Let's talk bets, hats, and the magic of the most luxurious event in the world.